We're extremely close to settling the teachers' union contract. So as a result, the budget amendment and related items have been withdrawn from today's agenda.
And we are back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, people. You know, it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us. Now, y'all, today, President Donald Trump signed an executive order essentially doing away with the Department of Education. Of course, it will still exist, but not in its current form. And you can consider this the first step to its eventual dissolution. Now, this brings us to the topic of today's, one of the earlier videos from today, because we've been following Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, whose city spent, who knows, countless hundreds of millions of dollars in helping migrants, people who the federal government wanted to or wants to kick out of the country. They spent untold hundreds of millions of dollars helping them to get acclimated to this country and to evade federal detection and put their own citizens and constituents back on the back burner. And now they're running a serious budget deficit.
A nearly $1 billion shortfall. That's what the city of Chicago is facing for their 2025 budget. Mayor Brandon Johnson saying the city needs to find $982 million.
Sarah Maki is here after talking with some experts on their ideas to fix the problem. Sarah?
Well, everyone I spoke with said they knew this number would be big, but this is nearly double the amount that Mayor Brandon Johnson faced his first year in office. And now he will have to make some cuts to existing spending and find some creative ways to bring more money in.
In order to try not to run that deficit, Johnson is awaiting a $175 million payment from Chicago Public Schools, and today was the day that they were supposed to vote on giving him that $175 million to rescue his budget. But as you will see here, he had no such luck. I mean, he looks like he's in crisis mode at this point, people. Let's take a look at what happened today during the meeting.
Resolution adopting the amended annual school budget for fiscal year 2025 and EX2. Ratify the fourth renewal and amend the intergovernmental agreement with the City of Chicago for the Municipal Employees Annuity and Benefit Fund have both been withdrawn from the agenda.
So before we begin, I'd like to state and first acknowledge our negotiations team this morning. They met and considerable progress has been made. We're very pleased about that. We're extremely close to settling the teachers' union contract. So as a result, the budget amendment and related items have been withdrawn from today's agenda, and these items will be brought back to the board at a later date for consideration. We're very pleased with the progress, so steady the ship, and we hope to be able to come back very soon with that resolve.
Please mark your calendars for the next upcoming meeting. The next Agenda Review Committee meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, April 9th at 10:30 a.m.
So as we saw in the earlier video today, Mayor Johnson says that he has been promised that he will get his $175 million and that he has made no contingency plan for in the case that 175 is not approved or is delayed. He has said he's going to call on Jesus. So we did play this video earlier in the earlier video, but we're going to play it again for those of you who didn't see it or who just want to watch it again, because it is quite astounding that the mayor's backup plan to maybe things don't go as you thought. Mayor, what do you think? What are you going to do if you don't get that 175? He's going to call on Jesus, y'all. Check it out.
What happens if the CPS and school board, they don't send that payment, the $175 million reimbursement to the city?
Then
by March 30th or March 31st, the deadline. What happens?
I want to believe that the CEO did not come before the city council and lie to them. I want to believe that.
But logistically, I hate to press this, but logistically,
you don't have to hate.
happened?
I'm just saying that he gave the city council his word.
Sure, I know, Mayor, but
so
what will happen if we don't get it?
You want me to answer that if the CEO lied to the city council, what's the contingency plan around someone being dishonest? Call on the name of Jesus.
Mayor, I know you're sort of addressing his, but let me follow up and just double down on this question. We're hearing from some alders that the city's budget will become unbalanced if you don't get this $175 million bucks. You got to do something. And if from the public hearings, CPS decides to put their $139 million bucks towards the contracts, Chicago's $175 million in the hole. I mean, something's got to happen. So what do? I mean, you go to the school board and ask them to take out a loan or something? I think that's illegal. But I mean, you've got to do something to make up the hole.
Well, look, I'm not going to, go down a hallway or into a closet and discussing hypotheticals. He made a promise to city council. And so it's incumbent upon him to keep to his word.
If he doesn't, what if he doesn't? I mean, you've got a couple of weeks, and there is a significant dollar figure here that's going to have to be dealt with your budget if they don't come through with the money.
Yeah, so again, the CEO stood in front of members of the city council and made a commitment to do what the school board ultimately has to prepare to do at a more significant scale as we work to disentangle the relationship between city government and Chicago Public Schools. The CEO's responsibility to make sure that the retirement is secure for the workers of the Chicago Public Schools, that is their responsibility, and that's going to continue to be a growth, because eventually in a couple of years there will be full disentanglement. So it's a good muscle to build.
Forgive me, Mayor, but I mean, that doesn't answer the question of what the city will do if the CEO does not come through with that money. I mean, maybe he promised it, but that doesn't change the situation if they don't come through and pay it.
Well, look, as I've said repeatedly, and our chairman of the budget committee has made it very clear that you're asking us what we're going to do if someone goes back on their word. That's what your question is. And what we're saying is that he gave his word. And so if you're asking me to guess if someone is going to go back on their word, I understand you feel like that's not answering the questions. But what I'm simply saying is you're asking me to answer a question about whether or not someone is telling the truth.
Do you have contingency plans? I guess that's kind of...
Well, I mean, look, there's no secret that there are challenges that budgets are experiencing all over the country. What's most important in this moment is our budget chair, along with our education chair, have spoken directly to the CEO, and the CEO gave this body his word that he was going to do his job. And so we fully expect the CEO to hold to his word, especially to the people that he made the promise to. Thank you all very much.
The mayor has not commented as of now. I know he's probably sitting on pins and needles. I mean, there's nothing he can really do at this point, but wait. I mean, this has to be brought up to a vote. The $175 million payment to the city has to be brought up to a vote, and it still has to pass. And apparently that has to happen by the end of this month, which has approximately 10 days left. So we will see what happens. But as of now, it looks like they're in crisis. Looks like they're in crisis mode. I mean, he might be getting down on bended knee because he doesn't have a plan B. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments what you think about all this. I mean, just as the federal funding may be cut, may be reduced, may be modified, they also can't get themselves together to figure out how to pay their workers, y'all. I mean, what is really going on? And all of this has been exacerbated by the payments that they have been making, the city of Chicago, the payments they've been taking on to help people that the federal government wants to kick out of the country. I mean, again, you have your constituents. I think you should put them first, but that's my opinion. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Before you go any further, please stop, share this video out, hit the share button and put in somebody's text message or WhatsApp or email address, share it out. And also, y'all, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Love y'all. We'll see you back in the next one.